Hello, my name is Raelee and my neighbors are being loud today. I love to build in The Sims 4. I make speed builds here on my channel and sometimes I play other games too. But right now I'm a full-time student and so I'm primarily doing speed builds. Today I was supposed to be sharing a collab with you guys, but due to some technical issues, instead we have this, which is this cute little cottage. I think it technically counts as a cottage. I would be interested to see what the definition of a cottage is. Let's look while we're all here together. Cottage. Nope, that's a town. Cottage. A dwelling of a farm laborer or small farmer. Oops. A usually small frame one family house, a small detached dwelling unit at an institution, a usually small house for vacation use. I think we can argue this is a cottage. It's small. It's a one family home. They don't have a farm, but I mean, maybe it's a vacation home. This definitely has vacation home vibes, actually. This is either a vacation home or for a person or couple that aren't super cluttery, because it's a pretty minimal build. There's not a whole ton going on the inside, and that was kind of the point. So with this build, I had a couple different things in mind, and I had a couple different elements that I really wanted to focus on and work on. So in a way, this build is sort of like one of my room studies where I was building it to practice something, but in the end, it was cute enough that I will totally use this in my gameplay, and I wanted to share it with you guys. So one of the things that I was thinking about is I have all these really cute reference images of old historical homes in Northern Europe or in the Mediterranean that have fallen into disrepair. There's no really fixing the building at this point. And so instead, they sort of build on top of it and incorporate elements of it into a new modern contemporary building. So that's primarily what initiated this. And then when I was doing the interior, some of the things I really wanted to focus on were the different textures of the materials that I was using and lighting. So you'll see me play around a lot with switching like couches in and out or rugs in and out, I go through all sorts of different concrete wallpapers a couple different times, and I left all of that in because I wanted you to sort of see what I was seeing and see like the different combinations and how they looked. I think it's one thing to show like, look, I made this family cabin, and to like watch the process of it, but the point of this building when I was making it was to practice those elements and to see what they looked like, and so it feels disingenuous to not include that in the video. So here we are. I wasn't totally planning on making this a speed build, to be honest, but I think it turned out really cute and I'm definitely proud of it. I was also, so one of my favorite bigger builders is Harry, and I think she does an incredible job of mixing modern contemporary elements with some more historical, classic looking either buildings or furniture pieces. I don't know, I just feel like she's very eclectic and contemporary in her building versus eclectic and rustic or eclectic and grungy. She has a very like stylish, eclectic style that I really admire and I really love, and honestly is probably like my IRL aesthetic. I say as I lean against my old cedar chest in my living room. So I was definitely trying to draw inspiration from that as well and use some furniture pieces or lighting pieces that maybe I don't use very often. So I hope you guys like this build. I think it turned out pretty cute. I had a lot of fun when I was building it. Editing it was super easy because there weren't too many pauses, and when there aren't a lot of pauses, that's when you know. That's how you can tell I was really into the build. And reviewing this footage and playing with the build while I could before the game crashed, it definitely inspired me to play with this idea more. I also built this before we got the window update where you can stack windows, and I think that would be a really fun, and before I got the tool mod actually. So I think that combination could lead to an interesting like next generation of this type of house, this type of building. That could be interesting. So I don't know. I'm building a lot of things right now though. I'm building a lot of different things and getting a lot of ideas, and I pre-planned out my videos for like the next 2 months. 2 videos a week, but also a couple bonus videos in there. And it's interesting because it's nice for my brain to know that I have it planned and I know like what needs to get done, and I can give myself better time management than since I started the channel. However, the way I build is kind of spastic and my ideas aren't easy to plan around. And so it's interesting to sort of like force myself to build a certain thing because I want the video, whereas before I would build it because I wanted to build it. It's still fun and I'm still getting the creative outlet and I'm still like pushing and challenging myself, but it is different. I wonder if other creators, as you get more comfortable putting out content and running a channel, if you guys are coming across similar things. Maybe you don't make content. Hello, if you don't make content. Most of my subscribers do, so it's always nice to see a new face. Hello, how are you? Please subscribe. I'm trying to hit 300 before the end of September, and oh my god, it's already the second week of September. How did that happen? I feel like all of the pandemic has been moving so slowly, and then all of a sudden September's a beast. I feel like that happens to me every year though. Like every September goes fast. I don't know what it is. You would think February moves the fastest, right? Because it has the shortest amount of days. And even the lighting is shorter in February. But no, it's September. September always comes in and out very quickly. Very quickly. I've been thinking a lot about the phrase grow up or act their age. And this is totally unrelated to the video, so if you are not interested in hearing Raelee's perspective on life, go ahead and mute me. I won't be offended. But I got into an argument with someone about 8 months ago because it was a school friend, and one of the graduate students who was a couple years ahead of us, he had done something incredibly immature and incredibly rude. And she was just so frustrated, and she was like, I don't understand why he can't act his age. And we got into a fight about it because I've always really hated that phrase. I think that we put this almost like fetish, maybe that's the wrong word. We glorify the idea and the concept of being an adult, and at the same time we put this horrible pressure and condescension on children. I mean, this even comes out in sort of the way that we parent them. Like when a kid gets injured, especially a really young kid, or if they like fall over or they just get a slight scrape, if it's nothing that if we're not going to rush them to the hospital, it's a parenting technique to tell the kid, you're fine, don't worry about it, you're okay, and just like move on as if it didn't happen. Whereas I almost feel like, well, I think I'm combining two different things. I almost feel like we should put emphasis onto that and be like, it's okay that you're hurting. It's going to be okay. And then also to like let them cry and not necessarily encourage them to cry, but to let them feel that pain. And I'm combining ideas because Western society is not very good at feeling pain. We tend to numb or shove pain pills at each other. And when things hurt, we tend to bottle it up or shove it down and bury it. But I feel like we do this with just kids in general. Like when someone's acting rudely or harshly, or they're being incredibly dramatic, when they're doing things that we don't like, we say they're acting like a child. Or when someone makes a really hurtful or catty remark about someone else, we say they're acting like they're still in high school. And there's this idea that there's a magical shift in your brain that happens when you reach a certain age, and that's just not true. Maturity comes with life experiences, but more than that, it comes with life experiences, but it also comes with the healing from those life experiences. So I've had really horrible traumatic things happen to me in my life, and I know people who've gone through very similar things, and our lives and our personalities have turned out incredibly different. Society would say I have my shit together. Society would applaud that I'm in university, I'm going after a science degree. They would applaud my friendships, and I'm married, and have savings, and they would applaud all of that. But a lot of that is because I had access to resources, including therapy, which helped me heal from those traumatic experiences. Whereas other people who may have gone through very similar or the exact same things, if they didn't have access to those resources, if they weren't taught to reflect, if they weren't taught to embrace the hurt and heal from it, they're going to turn into a totally different person. It has nothing to do with the fact that I've been alive for this long, and so I have all this knowledge that comes with that. It comes from the reflection of it, which is why there are people who are very old, and some are in political seats of power, who act what we would deem immature, who act childish, because they don't reflect on their actions and they don't think critically about how they impact the people around them. And it's just one of those little things that I think about a lot, and how acting your age is this lie that we've sold to ourselves, and how what a shame it is that we put it on kids and shame kids and have this concept, this entire concept that they're lesser than us, that adults are inherently better. But it's not really the case, is it? Adults make really horrible, impactful choices that hurt the people around them. And, to be honest, I don't know any child that does that. This got a little dark. Yikes. It's just something I've been thinking about a lot lately, especially, there is a lot of, I'm not even going to call it drama because I feel like that's condescending in itself, but there's been a lot of enthusiastic discussion in the Sims community about the new pack, and about capitalism, and about EA and their pressures that they put on the developers, and transparency, and all of these things. And I've seen that comment thrown around a couple times of act your age and immaturity. And I think it's more complex than that. And I think when you accept that it's more complex, and when you see the world as 50 Shades of Grey. Oh, bad joke. When you embrace that the world is not black and white, it makes it a lot easier to navigate those situations. It's incredibly uncomfortable. But when I came out as bisexual, and when I met my wife, I learned a lot about spectrums, and it sort of led me to this realization that everything in life is just a big ol' non-binary. And as much as we try, and granted, I'm a scientist, I totally get it. I get the urge as a human to put things into neat categories. I get it. It makes things simpler, but it's wrong. It doesn't answer any of our questions. It makes everything so simplistic, and then when things don't work well, it makes us angry and irritated. And wouldn't it just be easier if we, from the get-go, accepted and learned how to navigate a world that isn't neat and doesn't fit into boxes? I don't know, maybe I'm talking crazy, but I like to think that if from the start I had been told that the world is gray, and unpredictable that maybe it would cause me less stress. Because now I'm learning to think like that. I'm learning to consider all the complicated factors that go into reactions or business decisions or how our bodies function or political situations. Like there's infinite factors that lead to the world around us, and I just think that we're scared of it, and we don't necessarily need to be. We just need to be supportive of each other. So that's my 2 cents for the day that you didn't ask for. Be supportive and take care of each other. Oh, with this build, one thing I wanted to mention is, well, maybe it won't last. I haven't uploaded it to the gallery yet. Just go back and talk about Sims now. Woof. I haven't uploaded it to the gallery, and when I will, there will be some things that are slightly different because, again, it's been a month since I've looked at this, and so there was some details that I wanted to change. For example, I have these fake folding doors, but I realized in the space that's like implied that they would slide into, there was no, oh my god, what's it called? The thing, and you put it above, and it looks like a door track. It's not an arch, it's like that decorative thing. Anyway, you probably know what I'm talking about. I put that there, and then I changed the color of the mirror in the bathroom because I thought the blue was really random, and like, really, why'd you choose that? I think that's it. I think that's all that I changed. I might change the mailbox. Like I said, the game crashed when I was taking screenshots, and I had changed some things before the screenshots, so I don't remember if I had saved it or not. If I did, well, regardless, I'm gonna fix those things because they bother me. I might change the mailbox. I like the I like the Windenburg mailbox a lot. I think it's really pretty, the one with all the flowers on top, but the flowers don't change with the seasons, and it drives me insane. See, I'm saying that, but I'm also a hypocrite because I used the ivy and the like wall flowers on the exterior of this build that also don't change with the seasons, as opposed to using the ones that do. But regardless, I'm gonna change the mailbox because it bugs me. I liked how boring this build was, to be honest. I think I almost always build for families, even if it's just like a one kid household, and it was fun to make a yard for people who clearly like don't really garden and like don't have kids. And so there's just like this cute little eating spot, and then there's some chairs with an umbrella, and it's just chill. It's the antithesis to literally what I've been talking about, because I literally just went on a full 10-minute rant about how we treat children and the children, and have I mentioned that they're incredibly valuable to society, and like stop being condescending about it. But anyway, I also made like an implied staircase out here. All this before I had the tool mod, and so I wonder what it would look like if I had used the tool mod. We'll never know. Just kidding. We'll know when I make a new version of the same concept. That'll be fun. So anyway, have patience with people. Don't tell them to grow up. What's the glory in growing up anyway? I asked my mom once, I think I would have been like 18. I asked her when I will feel like a grown-up. And she said, honey, you tell me, because I still don't. And at that point, she had 2 kids. And I love that. I love that. I mean, here I am playing a video game. And what's the number one insult to people who play video games, right? Is that video games are for kids. So of course I'm going to feel strongly about this. And I assume y'all will too, because you also clearly like a video game. But what's wrong? What's wrong with being a child? I'm not saying I am being a child, but what's so bad about children that I am a child? Just like the insult of like, you throw like a girl? Yes, and? I don't get it. I don't get the insult. I don't understand. What's the bad part? There is no bad part. Maybe I did have the tool mod when I built this because I'm using the expanded catalog. Maybe I just hadn't gotten used to it yet. Oh, that's interesting. Maybe I'm a liar. I might be a liar. I don't know. This whole build is a lie. No, it's not. I really did build this. I would never plagiarize. Honestly, when I write papers, I'm so terrified that I'm gonna accidentally plagiarize that I run my own paper through those like machine things. Or like I Google sentences in my paper to make sure that they don't pop up online. I am the last person that would ever cheat. I'm terrified. I'm terrified of getting in trouble. Ooh. Wow, this is a very long video considering it's a small house. But again, I wanted to show you. I wanted to show you the mistakes because you learn more from people's mistakes. And if you're like me, you watch speed builds to learn. Or do you not? Why do you watch speed builds? Comment down below. Why do you watch speed builds? Do you watch it because you like to listen to people? Do you watch it because you're looking for new ideas and you're looking to learn? Do you watch it because it's fun? I don't mean to say it like that. Of course it can be fun. I have fun. I don't just no, that's not true. I was gonna say I don't just constantly learn, but I do, and I've always been like that. I just get bored if I'm not learning something. There was a piece of advice that Selena Gomez once shared in an interview that was shared to her by Taylor Swift. And it was, if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. And those are words I live by. Isn't that so wise? Oh, God. Sometimes I just sit and think about it. If I lived in the Hellenistic Greek period and I was a land-owning man, I would have been a philosopher, I think. I can see it. I ship it. I'm gonna end it here because we're coming up on the screenshots, and God, I've talked for a really long time and my mouth is dry and I want to go play Littlewood. But thank you so much for watching, and thank you so much for listening this long. I've got some really exciting things coming up on the channel, so if you enjoyed listening to me talk about the world, go ahead and hit subscribe, hit that like button, and don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time I put up a new video. I release videos on Wednesdays and Sundays. I have a surprise video coming on Friday. I'm sure how to transition to that, but there it is. I've done it. New video on Friday, 9 a.m. Keep an eye out. It's exciting. It's cute. Okay, bye everybody.